Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel.
Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. We honor the ancestors in the wind. We really do pray that you are all well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. Let me start off by saying and sending so much love and gratitude and abundance and good vibes to every single person that has been praying for us, that has sent us their best wishes, that has sent us donations through PayPal, gratitude donations and healing donations, and to our brother Kamaura and others who even sent us healing crystals. I'll definitely be giving you guys a major shout out, but thank you for standing with me and walking with me on my healing journey. It was definitely not just some, physical. It was not just a physical thing, and I guess I'll do a whole separate show on it on Dr. Mumbi Spirituals, but I'm so grateful to everyone who supported us and to our Patreon family who kept on supporting us even though we didn't release content for the month that we've been healing. Hey, Errol. Hey. And to my co-host, Errol, who's been the best company in the world on our healing journey. I was in an accident, so much can be said, over 6 weeks ago on the last blood moon in March, heavy witchcraft day. And hey, Errol, hey, come on, off, come on. And I'll do a whole separate show on that. I have talked about it on my TikTok, so you can find a bit of the story there. Same handle at Dr. Mumbi Show. And yeah, family, I'm grateful, but we are in a real spiritual war and we need to have our antennas up 100%, paying 100% attention to what is going on around us and the season and the times that we find ourselves in. We are not in normal times in any way, family. A whole way of life, the way we grew up in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, that and the 2010s, that life is gone, family. And a new life is being sketched out and mapped up as we speak. And the enemies of our soul, the enemies of our progress, just want us to go back into the cycles that we've lived before, where we were in their little pyramid scheme, but we were at the bottom, being exploited, being, having things stolen from us, having our natural resources used for nothing, and then they tell us they're giving us aid, but actually if we were just to sell our things at the right price, no one in our nations will be poor. That's why I keep talking about engineered poverty. And there's this rapper that said, what happened is we didn't lose our lands, we lost our damn minds. And that is actually what has happened, because we're still here on the lands, family. But the way we're moving on these lands is crazy. It's theatrical. Like a whole fake world has been created around us through stories, through the tongue. And then we were so disconnected naturally that we forgot the fundamentals of this reality, that life is really created by, the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Creator. And we are the mini creators, sent here, manifested here, created by the ultimate Creator, the Most High, family. And it is time for us to really recognize and really start to even do the Bobby Hemmets and this world and the way they used to do their conferences and stuff. Someone needs to start that up. We need to start talking to our people again about the real seasons and times, because we are the ones now. We've wrestled the motherland free by breaking the narrative. And by exposing, because you see, the magic fails once you see what's being done. Once you see what's being done to you, once you see what's being done to your nation. And collectively, there's certain nations, and I want to feel like as humanity, we're almost hitting that tipping point. But as the Black nation, as the global African nation, our collective first eye has been opened, family. We reached a tipping point where our group consciousness is no longer under the control of the slave master. Because you see, it's all about collective consciousnesses. So I create my reality, you create your reality, he, she creates your reality with what you're thinking about, with what you're feeling, your emotions, what you're giving your attention to. We're in a highly sophisticated matrix, family. So we're all creating this reality. But what has happened is that the people, the wizards and the warlocks and the witches that control this current way of life, or that have invented this current way of life and entertained us, literally contained us into it, entered us into it and contained us in it through entertainment. Like they just read the rule book of this matrix, family, and literally, I mean, there was a lot more, but there's so much lesser magic being used on humanity right now in terms of people's thoughts, people's, using symbolism, using imagery, like the recent image that Trump put of him as the Pope. And, there's a lot of Republicans who have said, he was just making fun and it was something light. And he was just, because they had asked him, who would you want to be the next Pope? And he was like, I would want to be the next Pope if I could be, and some saying that. But if you know what's really going on in the Muzungu reality, in the Muzungu atmosphere, you'd realize that there has been a literal takeover of Rome by another Muzungu conglomerate who is possibly using alien power. But that's a story I'll get into in a future episode. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to this channel, family, Dr. Mumbi Show, and our secondary channel, Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. So it's all about group consciousnesses. And so the wizards and warlocks in the so-called secret societies have used our creative powers, our manifestation powers, our spiritual powers against us. They've kind of rigged the system in a very rudimentary way. And they're using that system to literally keep their reality alive. But there is a changing of the guard, because there are other influences on what is happening on Mama Earth right now, the so-called Venuses and Saturns and, But if you follow their whole round world and round Earth and things like that, family, you'll get lost. But for so long, we were not in control of our group consciousness because we were not united. But somehow, in the last couple of years, we have become united, family. And that unity keeps growing in leaps and bounds, especially if you look at how many millions and millions of people across the world showed up for Ibrahim Traore's day, April 30th, where, people were standing in solidarity with him. And I'll do a whole separate show of that, although I have talked about it on TikTok, family. So definitely make sure you're following us on TikTok for those 1 minute, just seeing how many people came out unified in thought, using our words, using our unity, using our power, that put us on another level, family. And so our unity is happening extremely fast. And we have broken free collectively. Our group consciousness is no longer in the control of Babylon. And that is a massive game changer. That's why I'm always saying, please, family, if you can, support the alternative thinkers in our community. Support the authors. Support the guys who are bringing our information out. Support the thought leaders. And it doesn't mean just support them financially. Support them spiritually, family. Support them emotionally. Support us, family, because the war is real. And we're more exposed when we're seen by so many people. And so sending us our good thoughts, not fighting us on these petty levels of, is this philosophy real, or is that philosophy real, or is this story real, or is that... You have to have moved maturely, because we're moving into a more sophisticated thought reality, a more sophisticated place where the sophistication comes in us loving one another. The sophistication comes in us having heart. Otherwise, you're not going to make the crossover. Because the reality, it's a consciousness shift, family. If you're sitting around waiting for the world to change and this to happen to Trump and this to happen, you're going to miss it. They're busy creating their reality with their energy and their lesser magic, which is symbolism and all these, and imagery and, all these things, family. What are you doing to support the reality you say you want to go into? Of us being in control of our world. We honor the ancestors in the wind. Be more sincere with yourself. Be kinder to yourself. Work on yourself. Give as much energy and effort to yourself as you can, family, to make sure you're shifting your mind and your heart. Because we're in the judgment day. We're in the judgment season. And I released a show on that 2 years ago, where we are deciding whether we go into heaven or hell with our thoughts and our emotions. And even the small thoughts. Look at how you think. If you want to know who you really are, family, and this is sounding more like a Dr. Mumbi spirituals, but if you want to know who you really are, family, look at the small thoughts and the small emotions you have when you're scrolling and when you're talking. Are you more of a gossiper or a thought sharer, a concept sharer, a storyteller? Where are you falling when you look at how you're running your life in your small way? Because that is reality. Reality is every day, family. This dream reality we're creating, the fifth dimension, is every day. For me, it's an everyday experience. And I've noticed that the only way that I move into the way the world works, the Babylon matrix, is when I'm with people who are too much on that 3D consciousness, worrying too much, thinking too negative, consumed with the news. Small thinkers. That's their reality. But if you want to experience the new reality, the new Africa, the new earth, or the ancient earth, it happens here, family. No one's going to bring that to you. You have to be open here and here. Otherwise, how are you going to experience it? That's why for the last, I don't know how many years, I've been saying, work on yourself. Heal yourself. Work on your shadow. Balance out your shadow. There's nothing wrong with your anger. There's nothing wrong with the negative, the hotter aspects of your nature. You have to learn how to be both fire and water, family. But those are stories I'll cover on Dr. Mumbi Spirituals. Special shout out to everyone that has supported us on Patreon and that keeps supporting us. We appreciate, love you so much, family. May you be eternally blessed. May roads and, open up to you, family. And we're coming up with something where we will have a Patreons only rendezvous in 2025, family. And that is going to be our reward from us to you. Special shout out as well. I'm so grateful to everyone who sent us PayPal and gratitude and healing donations. Everyone who has supported our healing donations with your prayers. Akina Kamaura and others who have sent us, herbs, the moringas of this world and everything. We appreciate, love you so much. We're grateful for you. Tuko pamoja. To all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines.